One, two, three, four, five. Welcome to Off the Line. Well, I'm your host, OG Chris Murray. We give you my Dynasty Man League Conference Round Golden Picks. Listen, last round, man, it was just flat out pure entertainment. Each team brought a level of play that you can't even describe, while others sat on the sideline and would eat a bunch of donuts, 50-piece McNuggets. Man, so without further ado, man, let's recap the Dynasty Manly Divisional Round recap. First up, man, we got Mr. Chef Scoop in the Arizona Cardinals versus Sweets 99 in the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, in this game, it just was flat out McNuggets flying all over the place. The 50-piece McNugget was in full effect in this game with multiple sides of sweet and sour dipping sauce. Before this game got disconnected, the Arizona Cardinals did not have no answer at all for the San Francisco 49ers. They flat out balled out on these guys, man, and it just was mind-boggling in this game, because to see Chef Scooper come into the league his first year, take over a team and did not even have a playoff spot, he had to win out, which he did, to secure a playoff spot. Then to take on a top tier user in his first playoff appearance in the DML with the Bus out there in Chicago, getting the W, then moving on to the divisional round, facing Sweets 99. I just think that, there was too many injuries to this Arizona Cardinals team that flat out, man, just flat out cost him his shot at making a deep run in the playoffs. But he came in and he did his thing, But the San Francisco 49ers flat out showed in this game why he is a force to be reckoned with in the DML. Defense came out from the very first beginning of this game, very focused, getting after Geno Smith, causing constant pressure, securing him a dominating win and moving forward to the conference round, potentially getting him to the Super Bowl. But this was a crazy game, man. But let's move on. Next, we had Rich 215 and the New York Jets versus tight working those Miami Dolphins. Listen, 3 times was the charm. Rich 215 said he was going for the sweep, and in this game he locked it in, getting a 26-17 victory over the Dolphins. Couple things to point out in this matchup. On the Miami side, it was a solid game. Tightwork ran the ball well, got back to what we was used to seeing pretty much from Tightwork, him becoming a run-first offense. Didn't turn the ball over. Had the lead heading into the fourth quarter. Watching this game, when it got down to crunch time, he had, I believe, a 1-point lead, and he got a crucial stop, which got him the ball back. I think that he started playing too much of conservative football instead of being more aggressive and actually attacking Rich 215. I think he decided to just sit back and take his foot off the gas pedal, and in this matchup, it cost him the game. On the Jet side, Sam Donald played, a good game, but where was rookie running back Horton? He was just flat out, it was pretty much ghost. Like, he was a ghost. He was a ghost in this game. Move fast. Move fast. One, two, three. Welcome to Off the Line. Well, I'm your host, OG Chris Murray. We give you my Dynasty Man League Golden Picks. All right, listen. We had a very, very entertaining divisional round in the playoffs. Each guy showed why they were supposed to be there, while other guys just flat out showed why they was too busy worrying about stuffing their face with nuggets and stuffing their face with donuts. So let's recap the Dynasty Man League divisional round. First up, we had Chef Scuba and the Arizona Cardinals versus Sweets 99 and the San Francisco 49ers. Man, this right here in this matchup, it was nothing but pure McNuggets flying all over the place. 50-piece McNugget was in full effect in this game with extra sides of sweet and sour dipping sauce. Before this game got disconnected, Sweets 99 showed why he is a force to be reckoned with in the DML. His defense came out playing lights out football, getting after Geno Smith time after time after time, causing turnover after turnover. Chef Scooper, your future is bright, man. Listen, I think that your team had too many injuries in key positions to where as though it held you back from making a deep playoff run. You know, ice up, head into the off season, get some depth at certain positions, and understand that you had a good rookie year in the DML, so the future's bright. So just keep yourself focused, and you'll be all right, man. You'll be all right. Moving on, we had Rich 215 in those New York Jets versus Type Work and the Miami Dolphins. Now, three times the charm. Rich 215 said he was going for the sweep, and he locked that in when with a 26-17 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Couple things to point out from this game. Miami came out. They played a good game. Tyreek got back to running the ball how we knew Tyreek knew how to run the ball. But he had the lead heading into the fourth quarter, and I think he got too conservative, and that's what cost him the game. Instead of him being more aggressive, he started getting too conservative and took his foot off the gas pedal. And that's what caused him to receive receive the L in this matchup. Rich 215. I don't know where running back Ricky Horton was at, but you have to figure out before your next matchup how to get this guy going because he's going to be needed. But you escape with a good W in this one. Next up, we had Matty Ice and the Philadelphia Eagles versus 85 and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints just keep winning. All yo, this matchup right here, the Saints was all business. Not allowing a single point. Mr. AK-47 did what he's been doing all season long, tearing defenses up. Went off for a small 700. My fault. Sorry about that. 72 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns. You know, securing a 24-0 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. Matty Ice in this matchup came out and played the same exact game that he played in week 2. And it got him the same result. Now, there was allegations on the leg, which you can see in a crucial point in the game where Josh Allen drops back and tries to throw the ball to the running back on the flat, and it sails completely over the running back, and went right into the D-back's hands. But that's not the question of concerns right now. The question that we have and the concerns that we have is your defense. Your defense knew coming into this matchup, just from off of week two experience when you faced these guys, that AK 47 was the guy that had to be stopped. Just flat out. This AK 47 was the guy that had to be stopped. He went off for 164 yards rushing on you guys with two touchdowns. In this matchup, the defense could not figure out how to stop AK 47. You had to force 85 hands and make him beat you with somebody else. And in this matchup, I don't know what the defensive coordinator was doing, but they just could not figure out how to solve the puzzle. And, it cost them the game. It cost them the game. But, ice up. You'll be right back here next season. And hopefully this time it will be the same story with a different ending. Next up, we had Andy and those LA Chargers versus Expert and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles. Yo, after the game, Blake Bortles told reporters one thing and one thing only: put some respect on his name. I guess that's the feeling you had after scoring pretty much at the lead of your team to a 42-0 victory over the defending champs. LA, in this game, nothing at all was going you guys' way. Like, nothing at all. You had Philip Rivers, who looked like he wanted to retire by time, pretty much before halftime, after throwing pretty much 8 interceptions. Defense couldn't stop the run. Leonard Fournette went off for a total of 134 yards rushing for 2 touchdowns. Keelan Allen was a ghost. I guess Jalen Ramsey was right when he said he was overrated in last week's interview with reporters. Team looked like, flat out, that they was pretty much hung Super Bowl banner posting hungover. Flat out. That's what it was, man. But this is the team that we can't take our eyes off of, because they will be right back in the same spot come next year, man. But this time, man, this year, y'all fell a little bit short going home with a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts, y'all flight back to LA. That was the recap for the divisional round. Now, let's move on to these golden picks of the conference round. First up, we have Rich 215 and the New York Jets versus Expert and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got the DML rookie versus the DML vet. If Rich plans on to make it to the Super Bowl, he has to figure out how to stop the run. Like last week, the Miami Dolphins tore that front four up, rushing for a total of 156 yards rushing. This week, it doesn't get any easier. He's going up against Leonard Fournette, who last week went off for a total of 134 rushing yards for 2 touchdowns. Reporters reported this week that Leonard Fournette said in his interview he's looking forward to running all over that New York Jets defense. So he's going to have to figure out how to stop the run. Mr. Austin Seferian Jenkins is a guy who will rip you up if you give him a chance. He has to take him out of the game and make things a little bit more harder and difficult for Blake Bortles. What happened last week to Mr. Horton? He was a non-factor at all, and that performance, it was like, what the hell? Is the spotlight too big, rookie? Is the stage too big, rookie? You're going to have to figure that out because you're going up against a defense that if you don't have a balanced offense, they will tear you apart. You're going to be needed to help out Sam Darnold in this matchup. So, Rook, buckle your chin strap up, shake those fares, man, and you better get out there and perform. Now, Expert, Blake Bortles played a solid game besides throwing those interceptions. This game, you have to run the rock. You're facing the defense last week who gave up 156 yards on the ground.